Hey everybody, we're getting into late September, so time to discuss some Halloween tunes. Gonna be looking at a handful of CDs that I picked up recently from Hell's Headbangers, and we're gonna get started with Lurking After Midnight, the fifth and most recent full-length album released in 2024 by The Lurking Corpses. The Lurking Corpses are an American metal horror punk band that formed in 2001. Simply put, you could say they are a more metallic Misfits. The album that comes to my mind most often is American Psycho by Misfits, which is probably the most metallic Misfits album and my personal favorite. Saw them live at Dead by Dog. I thought that was my second favorite set of the night. I think they excelled more live than on record, but I still totally dig the records as well. My favorite tracks are probably This Night With You and Black Dahlia, two of those kind of doo-wop 50s influence kind of songs, and then some harder rocking tracks like When You're Dead and Burned Alive. Next up, some psychedelic death doom metal from Detroit with Acid Witch. This is their third full-length album from 2017. As always, the lyrics are focused on horror, drugs, Satan, and most importantly, Halloween. Some of these songs are mid-pace, some of them are a little faster. Vocals are pretty much extreme, kind of blackened death scream maybe, but really like the vocals and the samples. They just do a good job of bringing to mind like 80s Halloween. I think that's kind of the sweet spot for Halloween, and we all agree on that, right? 1980s Halloween. I was born in the 80s, so some of those memories are a little hazy, but still got them. I really like Hard Rock Halloween and An Evil Sound Screaming. Those are probably my two favorite songs on here. Love this stuff. Do the songs hold up if you kind of take out the Halloween fun that's packed in? Hard to say, but it doesn't really matter because Halloween music is what this is. And I brought it before. Slasher Dave, I totally dig all his music, a staple around my house at Halloween, and he is one of the members of Acid Witch. Next up, another band that I saw playing at Dead by Dog, Rotten UK. This is a punk band from Rochester, New York, and it's their second full-length album from 2024. After seeing them live, I pretty much summed them up as metallic punk. Just the back cover here says True Apocalyptic Evil Punk. Dug their set. They were the first band of the night. I went home, streamed their discography a bit, but I told myself, you know what? I need to put this aside for the fall and Halloween, because compared to seeing them live on record, they have a much more dark post-punk feel to them. The lyrics here seem to range from everything from kind of vaguely political to kind of dipping into the occult a bit, a little all over the place. And the songs themselves actually have a pretty good variety. I mean, there's some kind of straightforward punk kind of numbers. Some of my favorites have a real strong, again, post-punk feel, such as Insurgents and Broken Door. But my favorite song here is probably A Witch Is Born, which is definitely the most metallic song on here. And surprisingly, it brought to mind like some of the more atmospheric passages from Emperor, or specifically I'd say Anthem's era Emperor. There was a bonus track on here that wasn't there on the Spotify version. Not sure the title of that one, but I totally dug that one too. And Rotten UK, looking forward to checking out the next sound from these guys. And finally, Vladimir's self-titled album, released in 1997. They put out several releases since then. This is the only one I've listened to. Actually, no, there was one other album that I've heard. This is not on Hell's Headbangers, but it is on Reaper Metal Productions, which is very closely associated as the Hell's Headbangers guys. And the guy from this label are brothers. So another horror punk band. These guys are from Ohio. And on one hand, nothing too original about this, but what makes it stand out is a real extra layer of darkness in these songs. Not with having gratuitous violence or in the lyrics or making things extremely heavy in parts. It's just has a real dark atmosphere to it. Their songs are kind of more hard rocking, like Bloodsuckers and Transylvanian Dream. Again, there is that darkness lurking underneath these somewhat innocent sounding horror punk songs. But the real highlights are the more atmospheric tracks, such as I Saw You at the Drive-In, and especially the closer, Black Lipstick Smile, just one of those walk in at 3 a.m, rainy streets in the city, has that atmosphere to it. So overall, I really dug this. My only complaint is the vocals. The majority of the time they are doing the Danzig thing, which I'm a big fan of, but like 25% of the time they're kind of veering into rockabilly territory, and I've never really dug that kind of vocals. Rockabilly's always been that kind of thing where I feel a real cutoff with something that I have interest in common with, but then I just hit a wall and say, nope, not for me. But Vladimir's, awesome stuff for this Halloween season. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time.